Welcome to the Overgivers Anonymous Podcast. My name is Angela Mondor, also known as the Geeky Girl. In this podcast, we're going to be talking about some amazing things to help you get over overgiving. Hi, and welcome to this episode of the Overgivers Anonymous Podcast. My name is Angela Mondor. I'm also known as the Geeky Girl. And today I want to talk to you about something that's really important to me. I hope it's important to you. And it's about your year end in your business. I feel this is super important to me because I like to wrap up the year before I start moving into the next year. And for me, I like to do some reflection, but I like to do it from the space of gratitude and growth. And maybe it looks a little different than the way you've done it in the past. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure this out. I think that the way that you walk into the reflection, that the what you bring with it, what you think about as you're coming into this reflection is really important. Because when we're thinking about the emotions and the energy that we bring to this reflection, it can make a big difference between shooting all over yourself or coming through it with some gratitude and some thoughts about what it is that you want to do to grow forward. Okay. So there has been times when I haven't wrapped up my year. I have done things where I've just tried to roll with the punches and keep going. It has never been as successful as when I did try to actually roll up the whole year and figure out where I've been and where I'm going. And more to that, it's been way more important for me to look at it from the perspective of appreciating where I've been, appreciating what I've done, as opposed to saying, oh, I should, right? So I was talking about the don't shit all over yourself. So why does it matter? Why is it that this is so important? Because it provides a perspective for you. And again, the perspective is your choice on how you want to perceive it. But when you think about, if you were to step back, for example, and say, if I was looking at my today self from 3 years ago, so minus 3 years from today, and say, as that person 3 years ago, looking at this new person, wouldn't I be excited because this person's done X, Y, and Z? Wouldn't it be cool because they've accomplished this, these, and that, and those things? Isn't that amazing? We get muddled by being involved in the day-to-day. And it's great that we want to strive for growth and we want to strive for doing better things, but we miss out on appreciating and being grateful for what we have accomplished. And that's the energy that I like to bring to it. And I hope that I can encourage you to do some of that yourself as well. So celebrating your accomplishments is something that is very, very valuable to you as an entrepreneur, but also to you as a human being. I mean, think about the way that your brain works and how we love that hit of dopamine. It's possible that you could take the time to say, what are the things that are really cool about what happened over this past year? Don't just look at your successes in terms of, did I hit this goal or didn't I hit this goal, but also what did you endure? So sometimes it's not about thriving. Sometimes we are surviving. There are lots of things that have come and gone in 2024, and there have been moments when we've survived. There's been moments when we've thrived. There's been moments when we have just gotten through, but acknowledge and honor each of those things because they each have a different place inside of who you are and where you are on your journey as an entrepreneur. So not only what are you proud of that what you did, but what did you face? What did you overcome? What was it that came up during the year that you thought would never happen, or that you look back and go, oh, how did I get past that? How did I get through all of those things? So we frame it in the way of honoring your progress, honoring what has come, and to highlight your past you and your current you, looking at what I've done and where I've come from and where I am today. So there's a lot of gratitude that can come from looking at it from this perspective. So you can look at the lessons you've learned. You can look at the support that you've either been given or that you have given throughout the year. Be grateful for who you are as a person, the lessons that you've learned, what you've come through. Grateful for the people who showed up for you when you needed them. Those kinds of things can be very valuable and honoring to see who actually had your six this year, who had your back. I like to journal. I typically will do an end of day journal every day and sort of look at what's gone on throughout the day. It's a really cool exercise. It's only just a couple lines. It's not a big, huge journal thing. But then I can look back and see, what was this day like last year, or what was going on. And it's amazing sometimes these cycles that actually happen. So that's a good way for me to do it. Some people like to meditate. Some people like to speak to other people about it, get into a group of entrepreneurs perhaps, and sort of, have conversations about what this looks like for you. Then once you've looked at what has gone before and where you have come from and the gratitude that you have from that, then looking ahead and creating intention is much more powerful. You're not bringing the shoulds and the have tos and the maybes and all that baggage with you. You're not bringing it with you. Now you're looking forward with an excitement and intention, and you can look at the growth moments. Okay. So you can look back and say, here's where I grew in the business, and here's where I really want to go next year. Or here's some things that I wish I could have done a little differently. Okay, well, but I had this happen and that happened. And okay, well, I got through them. It's awesome. And here's what I've learned. So how do I want to try it differently next year? What are the different things I want to do? And so if you build on what you've accomplished, looking at your goals, what your visions are, what are your values? How do you want to put this into the universe? What do you want to create in 2025? That's a beautiful place to start from. And as always, I encourage you to stay flexible and give yourself some grace. It is important to realize that best laid plans and all, you may come up with this amazing plan, a trajectory of where you want to go. And life might take you down a bit of a curveball at one time or another during the year, sometimes a couple times a year. It's all good. Be flexible. Be willing to make some adjustments along the way, but just remember that you're looking towards that end in mind. This is the thing that I want to accomplish. And make sure that all of your decisions, all the pivots, all those changes are still moving you towards that greater goal, because that is exactly how you're going to be able to accomplish these goals. So there is a difference. There is a balance between striving for more, but also being content on where you are, because it is completely natural for us to be looking for that new goalpost. We move it. We don't get satisfied when we hit the goalpost. We're like, woohoo, we got it. What's the next one? So that's totally normal and wonderful and amazing and perfect. Just make sure that you're honoring how you got to that first goalpost, okay? That's really important. Practice patience with yourself, gratitude. Make sure that, you're also allowing yourself to learn from the journey. So setting those intentional goals, making sure that you're always checking in with yourself and saying, how does it match? Where am I going? Carve out some time in this month somewhere for your own reflection, so that you can look at what your accomplishments are. What are your goals? Where do you want to take this business of yours? All these amazing gifts that you have to offer your clients, exactly how do you want to put them out into the universe? Look for those kinds of things inside your business, and see where you want to take it. Now, if you want some help, if you want somebody to be there with you as you do this, our Rockstar Success Circle is the place for you. We are always looking at making sure that we are looking at our end in mind. We're building our plans based on that. We have monthly planning parties. We have quarterly planning parties, and they are parties. We don't drib and drab about. We have a lot of fun, and on top of that, we get shit done. Oh, we have a fantastic day, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Have a great one. Thank you so much for listening to the Overgivers Anonymous Podcast. Your support means the world to me. You can find show notes for this episode and other goodies at overgiversanonymous.ca. And if you enjoyed this episode, or you enjoyed the podcast in general, why not join us in the Overgivers Anonymous Facebook group, where you can connect with overgivers from all over the world. Head on over to geekygirl.ca/group.